Hello everyone. Today is February 20th. I previously recorded this same video like 2 days ago, but I stupidly forgot to record audio. It didn't capture in the microphone. So I'm doing this again. I think it's ideal because the video was like 30 minutes, so I don't have to break it down to something more interesting for you. This is, I wanted to share this experience I had, a little story time. When I was going through a difficult time around November last year, I was going through a very rough time in a lot of aspects. Financially, emotionally, mental, and just everything accumulated, and things just went wrong. And I'll explain this a little more as I make more videos, because clearly I don't have things explained, and I don't owe anyone an explanation, but if this is something about self-growth, I think it's worth being shared. It was December, between the 20th and 30th. I don't remember the date, but I'll just put it here. When I decided to go to Philadelphia. I'm from New Jersey. Wanted to go to Philadelphia, and I'm just a Rocky fan. Sylvester Stallone. And he posted that he would, well, not him, but his statue, his iconic statue that appears in the rest of the Rocky movies, when he climbs up the stairs up to the art museum, which I didn't know was an art museum until I knew this a few years ago, but I didn't know it at the beginning. And through the rough times I was going through, I really just wanted to just get out of my comfort zone, the things I'm used to. And I was going through a lot, and I have just bought a used car, but for me it's new. He posted and shared that it would only be on the top of the art museum for December, and I said, well, it's now or never. I don't know if I'll ever have the chance to live this. I don't know. It's a very iconic thing for me. It means a lot, mostly because Rocky movies, they inspire you, you know? They inspire you to be better. It's just a great movie, a great film, great music. And I did not want to lose this opportunity. So I didn't want to go alone. And I invited a few people, but they said no. And in the end, this was very last minute, because I was like, should I go? Should I not go? And I invited my relatives, my uncle, my aunt, and my cousin. And I'm like, I'm going to go to Philadelphia. Do you guys want to go? And if not, I'll just go alone. And, they were thinking about it. It was like, you got 2 days to think about it. Because I wanted to go on the weekend, on a weekend. Because, I just feel like I have more time. I didn't work. And I wanted to go early. As in the movies, I wanted to experience the dawn of Philadelphia. And I'm a big fan of instant film cameras, better known as Polaroid cameras. I just wanted this. I wanted to live this moment, and I didn't want to miss it. And I just wanted this picture. It's funny because my only objective was just to go take the picture, and then, I didn't have anything planned out until I started, Googling like what to do in Philadelphia, because, it'd be just useless just to go there and just want to go home right So then we found out that there was this was around Christmas. So there was this Christmas village, and I forgot the other name. The main objective for me was just to take the picture near the statue, live the experience. And we did. So we went on a Sunday morning. We went for breakfast around 3 a.m. Then we went off. And it was just ideal for me because I have just got my car. Everything was in order, insurance, registration, and then I had my Easy Pass as well. So paying tolls wouldn't be, such a big problem. And we got there at like 4:50, 5:30ish. And as we go through the streets of Philadelphia, near the city, and we were getting closer, from a distance, you could see the statue. Even though it was dark, you could see it. Then we got closer, we sort of went into the parking lot of the art museum because I didn't know where to park. And so we parked. There's the main avenue, the main street, and on the sides of the main avenue there's a street where you can go towards the city. As well, you could park on the side. So it was a one way, one lane. Let's say like two, one to park, and then just another two for through traffic. I parked there. It was like 5 a.m. Then I saw signs that said you don't have to pay until it's like 8 a.m. So I'm like, yeah, So I got down from the car with my cousin. I'm like, let's go together. I want to take a picture. So, and it was mad cold, just like right now. As we got there, we took pictures. There were a few people running up the art museum, just like in the films. We got to engage with a few people, conversations. Like, you want to take a picture? I'm like, yeah, I'm like, what else can you do here in Philadelphia? Like, oh, you can go here, you can go here, To be honest, there wasn't like really much. I didn't get many suggestions, but I'm pretty sure there's more to do in Philadelphia. But my mind was just on one thing. Then I got my instant camera out and I took the picture. But before the trip, Friday, I got out of work and I decided to go buy the camera, and I left it in my car. I took it out, put the film in. I kind of know how it works. And once I take the picture, you gotta wait like 5 minutes at least, and then the image will start developing. And I saw that it wasn't, and that the film was coming out blue. And in my head, it was like, was the camera broken? Is the film gone wrong? I took like 3 pictures and nothing came out. And then I Googled, and it turns out that cold temperature does affect the performance of the camera and the film as well. I had 2 theories: either the camera was broken or the film was just wrong. And I said, well, there's more of the day here. It's very early. I can take some pictures with my phone, and we can go for some breakfast, buy some film afterwards, and then just spend the rest of the day in the art museum because I said if they open on a Sunday, it'd be cool. Surely they did. We went to eat breakfast in the city. Once we get there, I see that the city also has a one lane for parking, and the other lane is just through traffic. And I parked there, and obviously you had to pay, So I paid for an hour approximately. As we go out, we have breakfast. It was nice. And as we go out, I see that we're late by like 2 minutes. I'm not exaggerating, 2 minutes. The parking officer was surely giving me a ticket. So I'm like, man, this sucks. I'm like, okay, doesn't matter. Shouldn't ruin our day. We head off to buy more film. And then I just made sure my camera was warm as well. And I bought more film. It worked. Something else. If there's still film in your camera, you can just warm it up. And the film will just work. So I took my picture when we got there. And I must say that I'm a huge fan of just picturing the moment. Even though it requires practice, you're going to have a lot of failure. And, just knowledge of light exposure, angle, your positioning has to do as well. And I took the picture, and honestly, I couldn't have asked for a better picture. It was just how I imagined it. So then me and my cousin proceeded to, there's a gift shop on the bottom. So in case you ever go to Philadelphia near the Art Museum, there's a gift shop on the bottom. And we just went into the museum. That museum is pretty cool. It's very nice. Throughout the years, it was pretty unusual to me to actually enjoy museums because, when I was younger, I said, I think this is boring, but I find a satisfaction to going to any kind of museum. And in this case, it was an art museum. A variety of art. So there's modern, just religious, Asian. I don't know much about art, so I'm sorry. But yeah, there's a lot, and I'll be sharing pictures as I talk. I enjoyed it, and I pretty much know that a lot of people will enjoy it as well. So if you tell me, do I recommend it? Yes, it's a good way to spend your time there. I forgot to mention this, which is important to the story, is that when we got there again to park in the same spot that we parked, now we had to pay. And I paid the total of 4 hours. We spent actually the 4 hours there. And I noticed that before the time ran out, I'm like, okay, I think the time's gonna run out. I'm gonna pay 30 minutes more just to make sure, nothing bad happens. And that's what I did. So as we're leaving the art museum, there's whole lot of more people near the statue and taking pictures. In my heart, in my mind, I was thankful for the moment with my family, and I just also wanted to capture that iconic moment with them. So I took a picture of the statue in the morning, and then I took a picture with my family with the statue. And I think that was a great way to end that part of that trip, the part of that day. As I'm walking to the spot where I parked my car, I'm walking across the pedestrian crosswalk, and I don't see my car. I asked, did we leave my car here? And everyone agreed, it's the car in front of us was the same one. Apparently, there was a sign behind me that said, from here to here, you are not allowed to park. So basically, it's to the sign, to the back where the pedestrian crosswalk was. It just doesn't make sense to park there, So I parked in front of that sign, and a whole bunch of other cars were parked in front of me. So it'd just be dumb to imagine that some of them didn't even pay the parking spot, and I did. And we were just confused. And my aunt, actually, she was actually scared. Like, scared. She started acting, worried, preoccupied, a little, just afraid of the situation. She said, well, call the police. And, I just called the police, and I said, well, the same thing. I parked my car here. I paid 4 hours. I paid a little extra. Now my car's not here. What's wrong? And then they sent a police officer. And the problem was everyone's phone had already died, except mine. But I was like 12%. And then the officer comes. He took a while because he didn't know where we were. And then I flagged him down. He came over, and he was really nice. And I said, well, I explained the situation. And he said, well, yeah, your car got towed, apparently for parking on the wrong spot. And I'm like, man, do you see the space and the sign right here? And he says, yeah, well, I'm part of this police of the city. This is like federal, the parking spot. Like, man, then what can I do? So he tracked it down and he knew where my car was towed. And he said, well, this is the address. I don't know if you can Uber there. And I said, well, I have just like 10% of battery now. And, you know, as I order the Uber, I don't even know if it will be here. Maybe my battery will run out. And we were just in a tight situation. And my aunt was just freaked out. And then she said, why aren't you worried? How are we going to get home? And I understand, you know, why she was worried, obviously. But the past few months of December, or actually just last year in general, was just chaotic for me. It wasn't my best year. I was just really lost, really down. I wasn't really getting nowhere. Before December, October was one of the most difficult months for me. A lot of bad things happened, and at that point I said, well, if they took my car, they took it. If they saw it, what can I do? Like, I have nothing else to lose. And I actually stayed calm because I said, well, at least my car wasn't stolen. It was towed, so what could be worse than that? Well, the officer saw that we were in a tight situation, so believe it or not, he actually gave us a ride to where my car was towed. And then we got there. It was just sketchy. I'm not. When I remember, it makes me mad because they said, "Well, you need your physical copy of your car registration and your insurance, your ID." And in my head, I'm like, "So, where do you keep a copy of your insurance and car registration?" So then I asked if my documents could be digital, and they said, yeah, you can just email it. So at least that wasn't much of a problem. And then the fine was just, it made me sad. I'll leave it like that. Because I had some savings, and I sort of lost part of the savings. But that's part of life. Things are going to happen. And worse things can happen, so that's why I wasn't really concerned about it. Work, just keep on moving, and don't give up. They took a while to give me my car. We were approximately there like for 30 minutes, and then they gave my car back, and my aunt said, at this point, let's just go home. Like, no, you wanted to go to the city, spend the time. I wanted to do that too. Let's not let this ruin our day. We can learn from this mistake today. So I said, let's just pay a parking lot. And, that's what we did. And the rest of the day, we just, hanged out in the city. Yeah, there are activities to do there. And actually, I experienced my first time ice skating. So I can say that was new. That was a nice experience as well. We proceeded to go home. So as we're driving home, and we get home, well, what I can say is that I experienced a nice adventure with my family, and honestly, I don't know what I would have done without them in that kind of situation. So I'm thankful they actually went with me. Something else I can say is that a lot of bad things are going to happen in life, and you just have to think with a clear mind, as clear as you can. Enjoy the moment. Even in bad moments, you can get a great story. At least I think this is a great story. Just be open to new adventures. I think something important throughout the days you live is just finding an objective, something to do, something to look up for, in the next weeks, next months, next years. It's just always have a plan, because I think it's important to keep motivation part of our life. I think it's essential. It gives us some kind of purpose. So I think if anything I learned in this adventure is just keep on moving. Don't give up. Learn new things. plan the trip correctly. You know, just try new things. I've stalled this video for a while because, as you remember, I did my first video and I just stayed with that. I think I was sort of, I'd say, insecure to keep on moving to see where it would go. And I have more material, I just haven't had the time to do it. Now that I'm sort of back to work, I try and film the things I do in my day. It's a difficult time for me, but I'm always trying to do something productive. You know, spend my time reading, learning how to do this kind of stuff. Believe it or not, I can see the days become better. So I'm happy for that. Hopefully I can share more experiences. I definitely do have more stories I could tell. But for now, I think this is the order I wanted to give the videos. And hopefully I can catch up with it. It's getting colder, so I think I'll go home. Thank you.